唐家偉先生咧係信讀佛學㗎，而家佢做緊一個咧就係禪坐，喺呢個禪坐之中咧係可以達到仙人合一嘅境界。
Wesley's work is enchanting in a way, confusing, challenging, and it reflects his personality, that he was a very complicated and complex individual. He was very much under-recognized during his lifetime, and part of the reason for doing this exhibition here at the Berkeley Art Museum and Pacific Film Archive was to bring to light of this extraordinary talented artist who was very bold and very willing to experiment. He was diagnosed as a schizophrenic fairly early on in his life, in his teens, and that certainly had an impact on his work. One of the things that I find really intriguing is his sense of motion within his paintings. The painting has swirls and lines that are not really descriptive, but are just an essence of a tree, an essence of a mountain, an essence of a cloud. He was able to directly create an energy that's palpable to the public. The exhibition is organized in 4 main parts, which include landscape, which is one of Wesley's favorite subjects, and he painted both splash ink and color paintings, finger paintings, and brush paintings of landscape, which are not intended to be landscapes of any real place, but rather landscapes of the mind, of images that came out of his own creativity and his own imagination. The second section of the exhibition is concerned with the ideas of teachers and mentors within the Chinese tradition. And in this section, we have works by people who were very influential in Wesley's life, from the artist Harold Huang, from whom Wesley gained greater understanding of the use of brush and ink. And then Wesley also studied with the Taiwanese master Liu Guosong, and his works are also in the exhibition. And I believe what Liu contributed to Wesley's work is the ability to experiment and the desire to create and utilize materials in new and different ways. Wesley also studied in Canada for about 4 years, and there he was exposed to Western abstraction and Cubism. And in fact, in his writings, he speaks about the importance of Pablo Picasso on his work. Another artist who was extremely influential in Wesley's early work was the great Chinese master Zhang Daqian, whose work in splash ink and splash color greatly influenced Wesley's own creative process. And then we also explore the idea of creativity and the importance of creativity to an artist's work. And in that section, we have works by artists from the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries that utilize materials differently than their tradition, and they also created works of great beauty. In the fourth section, we look at calligraphy, which is where Wesley Tongson started his work as an artist. And within that tradition, he painted works such as orchid and bamboo images that show his use both of brush and ink, as well as his very eccentric style of painting with his hands and fingers. He painted probably every day of his life, and this resulted in a huge amount of work that he created in his short lifetime. And I think that he was always trying to find a new way to express his inner feelings.